Last Sunday, Sonny Gray surprisingly came back from the disabled list and got the start in Houston. The former All-Star looked sharp as he was on a strict pitch count, but looked like his time on the shelf did him well. Tonight, Sonny gets his start, and he'll be facing the Reds in Cincinnati. The Great American Ballpark plays small, and Sonny will have to watch out for a Reds team that has lots of power. It's game 1 of 3. A's Reds Interleague Baseball is next. Well, stop number 3 on the road trip for the A's is the Great American Ballpark here in downtown Cincinnati. That is Anthony DeSclafani. He is coming back from the disabled list to make the start for the Reds. And Sonny Gray will make his second start since coming back from the disabled list. So that's your pitching matchup. We got Interleague Baseball, National League Park. It's the A's and the Reds coming up on CSN California. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fossey, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Sonny Gray, second start from the DL. And Ray threw 69 pitches in his first start. And it looks like tonight there's not going to be any pitch limitations. He's going to be able to go as long as he can.
And it will not take him a long time to get loose because it is hot and humid, unlike last Sunday in Houston. But for Sonny Gray, pitching last Sunday was great, especially to see him keep his pitches down. That's something he was not doing in the previous part of the season for him. But he's throwing a good curveball. He's throwing a good sinker, keeping everything down. In this ballpark where the ball carries well, he needs to do the same. Let's just hope with no restrictions tonight he can pitch deep in the ball game. A's can go to the back end of the bullpen. But Sonny Gray is very important to this ball club, especially for the rest of the season.
Now, the Cincinnati Reds are a dangerous offensive team. Middle of the lineup, you think of those veteran guys, Bruce and Phillips and Votto, all good hitters, but it's Adam Duvall who is leading this team in home runs.
17 home runs, and whether or not the ball carries well here doesn't matter. He can hit them out anywhere, and you're seeing some hit on the road. But Adam Duvall has really taken over to this ball club here and doing some special things for the Cincinnati Reds. If you have power in the outfield at the corner position, you're doing quite well. Duvall is adding that for the Reds. In the middle of the lineup with Votto and Phillips, other guys you talked about, but adding also Duvall to the mix really makes this a very good ball club, especially from the hitting side.
All right, so the A's are trying to get their first win of the road trip, and the ball should be carrying this weekend here in Cincinnati. Now stick around. When we return, we'll check in with the A's pregame live studios, and then we'll come back to Great American Ballpark for the ball game.
CSN California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. It's back, the Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack. Taste it before it's gone at Jack in the Box. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
Outside the Great American Ballpark, lots of beautiful statues. That one of Johnny Bench.
Pretty good catcher.
Yeah, Hall of Fame.
Can do it all.
So we are in downtown Cincinnati, Great American Ballpark, Interleague Baseball. And the game time weather for tonight, it's presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. It's warm, 78 degrees. It's very humid, and boy, it's supposed to really heat up in the mid-90s tomorrow is what they're telling us. It rained most of the day here in Cincinnati, but mid-afternoon, though, rain went away, and it has turned out to be a very nice night. Warm and humid, but very comfortable. So the A's winless on this road trip. They'd like to change that and have a good weekend of baseball here in Cincinnati. Let's look at the lineup tonight for the Athletics. Coco Crisp will lead off in center. Jed Lowry's at second. Stephen Vogt will catch. The good news is both Valencia and Davis are back in the lineup. Yonder Alonso hits sixth. Simeon seventh. Max Muncy just up from the minor leagues. He will hit eighth and play right field. And Sonny Gray is your pitcher.
Anthony DeSclafani. We just call him AD because he is making his first start of this 2016 season. Been on the disabled list, so just activated for tonight's game. He's primarily a fastball pitcher. He will throw curveball, slider, and changeup, but he likes the fastball, and it's just a question of how far Brian Price, the manager, will let him pitch tonight. But Brian is very happy to have his scheduled opening day starter in the lineup tonight, even though it is June the 10th.
Defensively, the Reds look like this. There's some familiar names. We talked about Adam Duvall in the open of our show. Tyler Holtz in center. Jay Bruce, the veteran, is in right. And Eugenio Suarez is the third baseman. Zach Cozart at short. Brandon Phillips at second. Joey Votto at first. Tucker Barnhart is your catcher. So Coco Chris steps in, and we are set for baseball. That's Brian Price, the manager of the Cincinnati Reds. And correct me if I'm wrong, Ray, but he and Bob Melvin are very, very good friends. They go way back.
They both went to Cal, and of course Brian Price worked for Bob Melvin as a pitching coach with the Arizona Diamondbacks. And you talk about friendship. When Bob Melvin was fired, Brian Price said, "I'm going to." And so he left with his good friend Bob Melvin, and his pitching coach for the Reds under Dusty Baker took over as their manager.
So the first pitch of the game to Coco Chris from Anthony DeSclafani is a strike. So we're underway. Swinging and a miss. This ballpark right on the banks of the Ohio River. In fact, we can see the Ohio River from our broadcast booth. Looking out over right field.
I think that's the reason for the humidity.
Yes, it doesn't help, that's for sure.
And unlike PNC Park with the river behind right field at that stadium, I don't think anybody's going to hit this river.
No, because I walked out there today, and you hit one in the water here.
Yeah.
It's going to be the longest home run in the history of baseball. Fielding Culbreth is calling balls and strikes, and he is the crew chief. Reynolds, Gonzalez, and Bucknor. And a foul tip, not caught by the catcher Barnhart. So Coco Chris still alive. Coco at 221 with 5 home runs and 22 RBIs.
If DeSclafani was hurt, he's not throwing like he was hurt, because he is throwing a good fastball. That last curveball, surprised that Coco even got the bat on it.
A little bit inside, but a good pitch at 95 miles an hour. Tough break for DeSclafani. He had a very nice rookie season. He made 31 starts last year, won 9 games. And he came into spring training, and the Reds said, "Hey, you're going to be our opening night starter." That's how much they think of this young man. And there's a line drive base hit right center field. So a good start for Coco Crisp. He's been struggling, and he has a leadoff single.
Let's hope playing outdoors is going to help the Athletics. It's a 2-2 fastball. It's supposed to be inside, left it out over the plate, left it up. And the old saying about a good fastball, regardless of the velocity, if there's not a lot of movement, it can be hit hard. And even with 2 strikes, that was hit hard by Coco Crisp to start the game.
So Coco's aboard, and here's Lowry.
Hey, Kipe, the A's won't be no hit for 5 or 6 innings tonight. I think that's a good point, because they were in Milwaukee back-to-back games. The 7th inning the first game, the 6th inning the second game. So tonight Coco takes care of that with a hit in the first inning.
The numbers for Lowry: 307, a homer, 19 RBIs. Vote to follow. Suarez, the third baseman, in on the grass. The finishing on DeSclafani. So Red said, "You're going to be our opening night starter." In his final spring training appearance, he gets hurt, strained left oblique, and he's been out for 2 months. So he missed a lot of time. He made 5 rehab starts to make sure he was healthy, and so the Reds are thrilled to have him back. And they have not been good on the pitching side this year, so getting the guy that is going to be your opening night starter back, a young pitcher, that's a big deal. So see how he looks tonight. Anthony DeSclafani, 26 years old. The left field, Duvall shading his eyes, looking right up into that sunshine. He's got it. But boy, it has been a tough year for the Cincinnati Reds and their pitching staff. Highest ERA in the majors at 5.65. Most home runs allowed in the majors. Most walks in the majors. None of that is good. And their bullpen has been historically bad. Their bullpen has an ERA nearly at 7. So that makes it real tough to win ball games. Their offense, there's enough there.
Oh, plenty.
There's enough there. Pitching has been the big issue. And you always kind of look back. Oh, what happened? Well, they traded Johnny Cueto from last year. They traded Mike Leake. They got Adam Duvall from the Giants for Mike Leake. So that's turned out well so far. But that's 2 pretty good pitchers that were in your rotation last year, not in it this year. More action for Duvall near the line, but it'll drop foul.
Well, pitching is key, as we know, and everybody in baseball realizes that. And you think about a 30-team major league rosters, the 30 teams, and you're looking at 12 pitchers per. That's almost half of your roster players are pitchers, and that's how much they're used, either starters or relievers. But if the starter can't go deep, and that's one of the problems the A's have had on this road trip and in their season so far, when they have not gone deep in a game, they've usually suffered, and so has the bullpen.
0-2 pitch. Vogt swings and misses at a pitch down and in. So that's the first strikeout on the season for DeSclafani.
On the hard slider, back foot, take the left foot, and there's the slider in the dirt. Handled nicely by Barnhart, the catcher, with a runner at first. Could not have advanced anyway, but DeSclafani just finally just a good slider, slings his fastball nicely.
So 2 away, and here's Danny Valencia. Danny Valencia, he didn't have any fun in Milwaukee. He was sick. So some of us had fun in Milwaukee. Valencia was not one of them. He was glad to get out of there.
Yeah.
Hitting .343 with 9 home runs, 22 RBIs. Takes a first pitch strike.
Problem for any hitter, although Danny did take BP on Wednesday. I think we saw him out on the field in the series finale. But when you miss time, whether it's an injury or an illness, sometimes your timing goes a little bit away. But for his numbers, .343 with a batting average, 9 home runs. You hate to not be playing every day.
Hold off that one a little bit. 0-2.
Start guessing a little bit, starting your swing a little bit too soon. Get a breaking ball, as this one was from the right-hander, and really started on the corner, ended up out of the strike zone. And if a pitcher or catcher watches the hitter, they should tell him that he's looking for a pitch inside. And so the catcher Barnhart's going back outside.
And that one is just foul past Joey Votto. So Coco Crisp led off this game with a base hit, still at first base. A ball that was tossed into the stands that actually came back out onto the field. So that's what the slight delay is. One-two pitch, fouled straight back. So Valencia got a fastball to hit. Well, I think big leaguers will tell you 1 day off is okay. But if you take 2 days off, that can already affect your timing. So Valencia's had 4.
That's right. Yeah, took the Monday off day in Milwaukee, stayed in the hotel because it was sick, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, an off day yesterday. So the scheduled off days make it even worse.
Fouled off the catcher, Tucker Barnhart. Seaver got him.
Straight off the mask. And speaking of catchers getting hit in the mask, I think we should explain. Billy Hamilton, they made a move, the speedster for the Reds. He got hit in the head, sliding into third base. And did we get the official announcement that he's placed on the 7-day?
Yeah, he went through the concussion protocol, and we were told moments ago that he is indeed on the 7-day concussion DL.
It usually happens to catchers, but Justin Morneau, who was just signed by the Chicago White Sox, a 1-year contract, he was kicked in the head sliding into second base. He missed about a half a season.
Sure.
So it does happen more. In the case of Billy Hamilton, sliding head first into third, was hit hard either by the knee or the glove, or the ball in the glove by the third baseman.
So no Billy Hamilton tonight, and no Billy Hamilton for the weekend.
And if you're a catcher, you're saying,
thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's
And
a good call.
pitchers and catchers can say thank you. If he gets on, he can fly, and he has the stolen bases to prove it.
1-2 pitch blocked by Tucker Barnhart. So 2-2 to Danny Valencia. Chris Davis would hit next if Valencia can get aboard.
Now Barnhart getting his work, and actually for Valencia, started to count 0-2. He has now seen 5 more pitches after the 0-2, and That one blocked nicely by Barnhart, the catcher. Calling for a fastball outside, enough of the sliders in the dirt.
The ball's hit hard toward short. Kozar with a dive. He flips to Phillips. Side retired. So a nice play by Zach Kozar to end the top of the first. Cincinnati Reds. Here it is. Zach Kozar, who made that nice play to end the top of the first. He'll lead off. Joey Votto hits second. Brandon Phillips third. Jay Bruce fourth. Adam Duvall fifth. Eugenio Suarez is the third baseman. He hit sixth. And then it's Holt, Barnhart, and DeSclafani.
Sonny Gray, his second start since returning from the disabled list. First one was last Sunday in Houston. Well documented that he went 5 innings. Left after giving up just 1 run, 69 pitches. So he'd like to improve on his record, lower his ERA. Helped the A's win the first game on this road trip. And the A's won 5 in a row to leave home. Thought good things before starting this road trip, but have since lost 5 in a row and like to get started back on a winning track.
First pitch is bounced to Valencia, who is in on the grass. Across the diamond, 1 pitch, 1 out for Sonny Gray. So that'll bring up Joey Votto, first baseman. Defensively for the A's tonight, Davis, Crispin, Muncy in the outfield. Valencia, Simeon, Lowry, and Alonso on the infield. Stephen Vogt is your catcher. So here's Joey Votto, first baseman. I was surprised when I looked at the numbers for Joey Votto this year. He is really struggling. And that is a surprise. Throughout his career has always been one of the best hitters in the National League.
He's not going anywhere. He is going to be with the Reds for a long time, and the contract he signed. Gold Glove winner, National League MVP, Hank Aaron Award, All-Star, huge contract, star of the team.
He's got a contract that runs through 2023. It was a 10-year deal.
This is his 10th season, so he's got a few more to go.
But man, last year, 314, 29 home runs, on base percentage of 459. He's a guy who has always walked a lot.
Exactly. Maybe too much, to the point that people say maybe he should be swinging more. But you have a strike zone. You know the strike zone. It's tough to deviate from that. It's called expanding the strike zone. Like choking up. That's something you very rarely see hitters in today's world. Chokes up maybe a couple of inches on the end of the bat.
Crowds the plate a little bit. 3-1 pitch is hit high in the air, right center. That's hit pretty well. Coco near the wall. Coco has got just enough room, and he makes the catch. So Votto just got underneath that one.
Maybe a little bit towards the end of the bat, but a good swing on a 3-1 fastball. Maybe a location a little bit up too much, but maybe it helped that he got under it just enough to keep it in the park. I'd say, Kite, you know this park as well as anybody. You start thinking there's a sun field for Coco and checking for the wall. Now, the ball's hitting the air. A lot of people have to be thinking there's a chance it's going to go. And I think there are a few people thought that, maybe including Sonny Gray.
Sonny doing a little yard work on the mound.
But that's all pregame watering because the field's covered while it was raining most of the day.
So 2 away. Here's the veteran second baseman Brandon Phillips. We mentioned these names in the open of our show. It's a dangerous middle of the lineup when you go Votto, Phillips, Bruce, and then Duvall, who has the 17 home runs. Pretty good veteran hitters, and he went around. So 0-2 to Phillips.
He asked the first base umpire for the appeal, and he did. He called it a strike. Good breaking ball from Sonny Gray. That's where he wants it thrown down.
So Phillips cues that one off the end of the bat. Count stays 0-2. Phillips at 267 with 6 home runs, 27 RBIs.
And he is a magician around second base. He makes some unbelievable plays, usually highlight reel plays.
In the dirt. Phillips now 34 years old. He'll be 35 a little bit later this month. So he's been around a long time, and he's had a very nice career. Was it this past off season when they had a trade done with the Nationals, but he had veto power and he said, no, I'm staying.
10-5, 10 years in the big leagues, last 5 with the same club. And that was enough for him to refuse to go to Washington. And what Jockey, the president, told me he also refused Arizona. They tried to trade him to Diamondbacks as well. And you have that option. Some have no trade clauses in the contract, but it's an automatic through the rules of Major League Baseball that if you have 10 years and 5, the 10-5 as they call it, you can refuse a trade. So he wants to stay in Cincinnati.
That one tapped slowly up the third base line. Vogt quickly over there, throws to first, and Sonny Gray has a 3 up, 3 down. First inning, no score after 1 from Cincinnati. Baseball brought to you by T-Mobile, and the A's made a trade yesterday. They sent Chris Coghlan back to the Chicago Cubs, and they got a minor league infielder outfielder by the name of Arismendi Alcantara, and he will be playing in AAA for the Athletics. It's just a struggle for Chris Coghlan this year, but a 146 average. I don't think any of us saw that coming.
And we wish him well, Cap, because he did struggle here, and you could only look at maybe changing of leagues and going back to the National League where he's more familiar, and maybe that will help him going to a club that.
And that one is ripped to left. Duvall got over there, then he leaped up and he made the catch.
Chris Davis didn't miss any time. That swing right out of the chute with a line drive. Too much topspin, and first pitch hitting fastball hit on top of it and came straight down to Duvall as he made the jump. And he's fighting a tough Sunfield in left field.
That looks like could be a handful for another inning or so.
How about tomorrow and Sunday?
Yeah.
Tomorrow it's an earlier start, 3 hours earlier, 4 o'clock local time. So probably a Sunfield most, if not all the day, tomorrow and Sunday.
So here's Yonder Alonso. So I guess Alcantara was playing second base in the minor leagues for the Cubs. He also can play the outfield. Speedy guy.
Yep. Straight to Nashville.
So it was a busy 48 hours for the A's. Director of team travel Mickey Morabito was busy.
Couldn't even go to dinner till late last night, right?
He was on the phone. Getting guys out, getting guys in.
Check swing by Alonso. A good swing, although might have gotten away with one. Stevie Bucknor at third base said no.
2-2 the count. Alonso at 234 with a homer and 12 RBIs. And he lines one to right. Bruce getting back. It's going to be over his head. Bangs off the wall. Bruce has it, and he's got a good arm. He fires a strike back to second base. It's a long single for Yonder Alonso. So second hit. So let's kind of finish up the roster moves for the A's. You saw the Coghlan trade. Jesse Hahn was sent back to AAA. And Max Muncy brought up. He's in the lineup tonight. And also Zach Neal. And Zach Neal is in the bullpen. So Hahn out, Coghlan out off the big league roster. Muncy on the big league roster, as is Zach Neal. And don't forget, Rich Hill was placed on the disabled list. And we do have exciting news about tomorrow, though, right? The A's will call up Daniel Mingden, and he will make his major league debut tomorrow right here in Cincinnati. Yep, it's a big deal. We're excited about that. And there it is. We'll have it for you. He's having a terrific season in the minor leagues. Look at those numbers. And he will be opposed by former A Dan Straley. Nice job of hitting by Marcus Semien. He shoots on the right field for a hit. So that will, Mingden will take Rich Hill's spot.
Well, good job by Marcus Semien. The pitch away from him, just go in that direction with a breaking ball. Huge hole on the right side. Phillips close to second. Not necessarily a shift, but close to second for a double play.
So here's Max Muncy. 263 down in AAA for Muncy with 7 home runs. Swing and a miss. Well, with Coghlan traded, Reddick still on the disabled list, Muncy could get some at-bats.
Well, his versatility has really helped out, playing in the outfield as well as infield. Getting the start in right field tonight with Coghlan heading to Chicago.
Muncy hits one high in the air to center. Holt going back near the warning track, and he makes the catch. Both runners tag, and both runners will advance. So Alonso to third, Semien to second, but now 2 outs with the pitcher coming up.
Got to be a little bit smarter about hitting. Don't want to hit that long of a drive to center field.
You
Pull
get
it.
a short pop.
Yeah, pull it.
Let it drop in front of somebody, or or yank one. So here's Gray, 1 for 8 in his career as a hitter. Now hit a base hit down at Dodger Stadium last year. Remember, Sonny Gray shut down the Dodgers in LA last year. First pitch is a strike.
Well, all the pitchers for the A's who have been taking batting practice, Bob Melvin has emphasized bunting, something that Sean Manaea was not able to do Tuesday night. But most of them want to swing the bat, and he said that's fine, but be able to bunt. Well, now Sonny Gray has the chance to swing the bat.
Lays off that pitch down and away. So 1-1 the count. And we saw the Brewers pitchers do a pretty good job with the bat, and I think that helped the Brewers in their 2 wins over the A's.
Absolutely. No shift for Sonny Gray in the outfield, playing very shallow.
1-1 pitch. Fastball in on the hands, and it's rolled toward the Reds dugout.
But Dan Straley, who formerly was with the Athletics, is now pitching and pitch tomorrow night. Is this fastball
a little late?
Yeah, kind of by him.
A little tardy.
But Straley is taking BP today. He's talking about how, I said, I love it, man. Get a chance to swing the bat. Staying long enough as a starting pitcher to be able to get an opportunity to swing. That's all it takes. You figure a breaking pitch is coming sometime now with a couple of strikes.
That one tapped foul, and pretty good job of covering it by Sonny Gray.
Sonny is one that during spring training, and Bob Melvin said this past spring they did not have to utilize a pitcher at any time. The National League managers in their parks allowed them to use a DH. Sonny, though, last year in spring training was told to stand at the plate like a statue. He didn't listen, and he said, let me swing the bat, and he was running hard to first base, and manager didn't like it that much.
And that one bounced, and a tough play knocked down by Votto. He gets it himself, turns like he's going to throw to third base.
Like he thought there was one out.
Because that's the third out. Come on, Joey. It's game 1 of 3. Let's go. About last year's All-Star game was right here in Cincinnati. Sonny Gray and Stephen Vogt both selected for the first time. Sonny did not pitch in the All-Star game. He had pitched on the Sunday before in Cleveland. Stephen Vogt did get one at bat and he struck out, but the fact that the A's finished the first half in Cleveland made it kind of a nice little thing for Sonny and Stephen, because they jumped in a little party bus and drove down to Cincinnati, and they had a good time. And
Jason Kipnis of the Indians came with us.
That's right.
Sonny pitched a shutout in the first half finale, and Cleveland, and he and Bodie came down. Was it DeGrom that Vogt had to face?
Was it? Thanks a lot. Huh?
Struck out. He said that's okay.
This year's All-Star game is in San Diego. So Petco Park gets an All-Star game for the first time. Here's Jay Bruce. Bruce goes after the first pitch with the shift on. Lowry has it, throws, and gets Bruce by a step. So 1 out, and here comes the young man we talked about in the open of our show, Adam Duvall. And he's become quite a story. The Giants needed a starting pitcher last year, and they wanted Mike Leake, and Leake, pretty good starting pitcher. The Reds said, we want Adam Duvall, who had good seasons in the minor leagues.
It's like a young man who likes the pitches up, and you try to keep him down as much as possible.
Well, he's been hot lately. So Duvall with 17 home runs. He's got 40 RBIs. Only Nolan Arenado has more, so he's ahead of Chris Carter, Trevor Story, Yoenis Cespedes in the National League. So quite a start for Adam Duvall. 2-0. And he just got under this one. Skies it toward Lowry. Lowry, a couple steps out onto the grass. He's got it. So 2 away.
I think the one thing we have seen and will continue to see probably is aggressiveness of the National League hitters. And I say National League because they don't seem to take a lot of pitches, especially when they have a count in their favor. That was a 2-0 that he jumped on, just got under it. Joey Votto had a 3-1 count, just missed one.
Here's Eugenio Suarez, third baseman. Suarez had 13 home runs last year in 97 games. He got 13 home runs already this year. Batting average a little low at 230, but he's got lots of power. And he likes to drop and drive.
Little uppercut. Check this swing. There's your uppercut.
In the dirt, so the count 1-2. And Big Alfredo Simon, who pitched for the Tigers for a year, but had a couple good years here. The Reds traded him to Detroit. It was after the 2014 season, and this is who the Reds got in that trade. Swing and a miss. He swung at a pitch in the dirt, and Sonny Gray has retired the first 6. So third inning coming up. No score between the A's and the Reds. For Ford right choice. So last night the A's picking 6th overall in the Major League Baseball draft. They took a big left-hander by the name of A.J. Puck out of the University of Florida. 6'7", 230 pounds. See the numbers from his season this year and his career numbers as a Gator. A.J. Puck, 6'7", and I know as the spring kind of went on, there was early in the spring, his name was popping up quite a bit as maybe the first overall pick. The Phillies had the first pick. The A's had to be thrilled when they saw his name sitting there at 6. So hopefully the start of a nice career in the green and gold. A.J. Puck.
I think he's got a couple of kids out of Florida.
Yeah.
Second round as well. But the big boy in the first round. That's special for him. So get him signed. Get him to the Coliseum. Let him throw in front of Kurt Young. Get him up in the booth, say hello, and send him off his way.
Sure.
Get him in the minor leagues and back to the big leagues as quickly as possible.
Coco Crisp is 2 for 2. So a leadoff single here in the third. Well, let's check out A.J. Puck again. He is a big fella. Throws very hard, upper 90s they tell us, And there he is.
Yeah, the advance prediction, just like you said, that those guys had him going perhaps the top pick by Philadelphia. Cincinnati had the second pick, but good fastball, live fastball, hard slider. 6'7". That's tall.
That is tall. Well, here's Lowry. So rounds 1 and 2 were last night. Today it was rounds 3 through 10. And the draft will wrap up tomorrow. But the A's were very pitcher heavy. What I read were 8 of their first 11 picks were pitchers, and most of them were college pitchers.
It's good.
Which is interesting.
I say good, but because usually college pitchers, you don't spend that much time in the minor leagues because they get, unless they're junior college, they have to go at least 3 years to 4-year school. So they've got some good conditioning, good programs.
Last year they took a Florida player with the shortstop. Remember Richie Martin?
That's right. Matt Chapman the year before.
Matt Chapman the year before.
So they've got some good youngsters in the minor leagues. Build the farm system and you get the kids to the big leagues at the same time. You have them under control for a long time.
Lowry takes down and in, so they count 2-1.
For the commentary last night after, I can't remember which pitcher was drafted, but said he'd thrown 138 pitches in a game, and one of the guys said take him 3 starts to throw that in the big leagues or in professional baseball.
Probably in the minor leagues.
Yeah, because they will protect, and that's a lot of pitches. And remember the name Kirk Dressendorfer out of Texas came, and boy, they had worn him out. And sometimes you just have to shut a pitcher down for a full season after he signs because the overload and overwork in college football, college baseball. I mean, nothing against colleges want to win, but give a young man a lot of money and you're going to protect him coming up through the system.
2-1. Lowry hit a fly ball to left field. He rolls over on this one. Phillips has it. Cozart, and that's a double play. 4-6-3 double play. 2 outs here in the third. The next 2 picks for the A's after A.J. Puck was a lottery round pick. The 37th choice was Dalton Jeffries from Cal.
Yeah.
And then the 47th pick, the A's took Logan Shore, another pitcher from Florida, and who actually, just as far as college statistics, was even better than Puck. Southeast Conference Pitcher of the Year, and that says something in that conference. It's a terrific baseball conference. Those were the first 3 selections, all college pitchers for the A's. Vogt drives one to right. Bruce is going back. He's at the wall, and that baby's gone. Stephen Vogt gets the A's on the board, and it's 1-0 here in the third.
I see you playing the All-Star game. You strike out against a hard-throwing right-hander. You come back the next year playing a regular season. Second at bat. Oh! You hit a home run. His 5th for Stephen Vogt. Crushed it, and usually pretty good contact for him, bringing the hands in, a fastball that slid back towards the middle of the plate. And Stephen Vogt, great extension. And sometimes you see a guy make contact, the ball doesn't travel, but for Vogt, it seems that his follow-through is as big as anything. So great swing for him, putting the A's on the board.
Well, and remember, he did not have a good first at bat.
Yeah, swinging out the slider down and in.
So whatever he may have looked at or thought about going into a second at bat, it worked. So 1-0 A's. That home run for Vogt, his 5th of the year. Valencia drives one left center field. Nobody's going to get this one, and one hops the wall. Tyler Holt picks it up, flips it back in. Valencia with the double.
That was a result of the aggressiveness of Stephen Vogt, hanging slider. Stephen Vogt to Danny Valencia, and the aggressiveness getting the foot down and left the ball right in the middle of the plate. And while he did not hit a home run, still a double to left center on a ball that was scorched.
So for Valencia, his 6th double of the year.
So that's 102 home runs now, right?
Yep. Oof, that's a lot. So Chris Davis a chance to knock in a run. Slider first strike. Davis hit a shot right at Duvall in left field, leading off the 2nd inning. Back in the lineup.
Still not 100%. I was asking him about the feeling, and they had the funny bone hit by a pitch in Houston, and he's still lacking complete feeling in his ring finger on his left hand. Oh, that doesn't help at all. Wow. Looks like the same place. Does have protection on the left elbow. Check the left elbow, right up and in. Got him in the same spot. Fortunately, and hopefully, the protection that he had did help.
Seems to be okay.
Sounded like it hurt.
But probably not that thrilled about what just happened. Here's Alonso, who had a line drive single in the 2nd inning. It actually went over Bruce's head, but it bounced right back to Bruce, and it held Alonso to a single. Breaking ball, first strike. This is what happened on Saturday in Houston.
No protection on this one. Feldman got him left elbow, and it's kind of like the funny ball, the crazy ball, and you hit it, you lose the feeling in your fingers, and it usually goes away quickly, but that's if you bang your elbow on a table or something, but not getting hit by a 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
Cued toward third. Suarez has it. Throws across side. Retired. Vogt with a solo home run, his 5th of the year. So the A's have a 1-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Gives the A's a 1-0 lead with the home run. And now in the bottom of the 3rd, Sonny Gray will go to work against Holt, Barnhart, and DeSclafani. It's always sunny in Cincy.
Wasn't this morning?
No,
it was raining.
Not. It was raining actually pretty hard. But mid-afternoon, it started to clear up, and boy, it's a nice night, nice and comfortable. We did not see the sun a whole lot in Milwaukee.
No.
It's kind of overcast and even a little bit cool there the whole time we were there. This is Tyler Holt playing center field. 1-1 the count. .296 with 6 RBIs for Holt. And a couple of doubles and a triple. Tapped slowly. Valencia has to charge. He'll barehand. He throws, and a nice play by Danny Valencia. You have to make that decision. Should I barehand it? And he did. He was playing in.
And that's the good news, because with 2 strikes, he plays back this way. He can get to it and make the barehand. This is how close it is, considering playing in. If he's playing back, probably no play. Good scoop at first by the. Actually, I don't know. Maybe he just stretched out and caught the ball, but Danny Valencia with a bare hand across his body, and Alonso actually reached out and caught the ball without the ball hitting the ground, which makes it even better for the first baseman.
So here's Tucker Barnhart, a left-handed hitter. Barnhart at .252, couple of homers and 10 RBIs. The Reds have a pretty good catcher who's on the disabled list. Devin Mesoraco had shoulder surgery. A couple years ago, he hit over 20 home runs, did Mesoraco, but then last year, a lot of time on the disabled list, and this year, now he had shoulder surgery. So he is missed. High fastball, 1-2. Homer Bailey, pretty good starting pitcher. He's on the disabled list with Tommy John surgery.
They get the opportunities. One of the things Sonny Gray last Sunday noticed in his start in Houston, his left foot. Remember how closed it was, almost like he was pitching out of the stretch, but out of the windup, it's kind of opened it up a little bit where it's a little bit more of a conventional windup instead of like his good friend David Price out of Vandy. But the left foot now is actually pointing a little bit towards the on deck circle of the Reds, towards the first base. But before, he had a very, very abbreviated windup and getting very close to being a windup that a lot of pitchers use without just setting up like they're in the stretch.
And he's going to get the strikeout there. Second strikeout. Well, I mean, now that it's talked about more, you see a lot of guys using it.
So Sonny was one of those, and he's gone back to more of a conventional and a curveball, and basically it's like a hitter opening up his stance. And as a pitcher, if you open up your front foot, you automatically open yourself up to clear your hips a little bit better. And you know, he kept the ball down last Sunday. He's keeping the ball down tonight. Maybe one little adjustment with the footwork has helped him. Who knows? But it is a little bit different for him.
First pitch in for a strike to DeSclafani.
Here it is. See the left foot? That was actually right next to his right foot before he went on the disabled list. And since he's come back, then it's just more of a step. Before, it was just very, very small, if any, kind of a step.
Who knows? Maybe he just tried it and said, you know, that feels just a little bit more comfortable.
Well, I watched David Price pitch the other night, and he has no windup. I mean, his right foot right next to his left foot, and he just hardly moves his lower body at all.
Oh, David, you say David Price? Yeah, I mean, it almost looks a little strange because it's so far away from kind of the I don't know what you would say, regular windup.
Right. But at least some movement. But
it looks like he's just standing there and then he just starts to pitch.
Exactly. And I kind of hope we saw him with Texas, Ross Ollendorf. I want to see him pitch because he's got
opposite.
the old-fashioned windup. The old, here's the windup and over the top and
a little bit high.
But the A's need Sonny Gray to be able to pitch every 5th day, and Rich Hill get him back healthy, and you know, some young pitchers getting opportunities to take advantage of those.
And you're still waiting on Henderson Alvarez as well.
That's true. DeSclafani has been doing some hitting because he took a pretty good breaking ball from Sonny Gray. He has to almost get a fastball now that it's 3-2.
Roll foul, and that is a pretty good swing.
When you take a 2-2 curveball, a hard curveball from Sonny Gray, that's good hitting. It's a fastball. He figured he's going to get a fastball 3-2 because no pitcher likes to walk the opposing pitcher.
You know, 156 average last year. It's not bad. And he rips one center field, and Coco with a great jump makes the catch. So 9 up, 9 down for Sonny Gray, and we are through 3 in Cincinnati. 1-0 A's. AAA, what does your insurance do when it's not doing insurance? It should do more. Go to AAA.com for more details. You may want to be out on that boat tomorrow. It's supposed to be 95 degrees tomorrow and 92 on Sunday.
Is that the river that runs through it?
Oh, Raymond. Slow down. That's the Ohio River,
yes,
just over right field.
And Kentucky's just on the other side of the river, right?
We can see Kentucky.
Yeah.
It's right there.
In fact, Dan Strady said, "Where do you live, Dan?" He said, "In Kentucky." Just
Covington, right?
Yeah, just across the river. Is it 28 miles?
I will say this, though, I walked around the lower concourse today before the game. It's because we have a nice ballpark. And when I got to right field, I said, all right, if you were to hit one, could you hit one into the Ohio River? Now you think in San Francisco you can hit one into the water. In Pittsburgh you can do it.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, well, could you hit one in the water here? And then I realized that no, you can't, because there's a shot into the glove. Third baseman Suarez for out number 1. Because first of all, you'd have to hit it over obviously the seats are, if you went down the line, right under that there's a concourse, fairly wide concourse, and then below that there's a sidewalk, and below next to that there's a 4-lane road, and next to the other side is another sidewalk, and then there's the river. So I don't think you could do it. It would be like a 600-foot home run, I think.
Yeah. Even Ted Kluszewski, when he played for the Reds many years ago, probably couldn't do it.
Now, if you got one to bounce, it could bounce into the Ohio River, but not on a fly.
Big Ted played at Crosley Field. I don't think there's a river around Crosley. Is there? Was there a river around Crosley Field at all? No, I didn't think so. No, it's a whole different area. Clue with the big cutoff sleeves.
Looking good.
Big arms, so big, couldn't fit in the sleeves.
Well, according to the media guide, Adam Dunn hit the longest home run ever here in this ballpark, 535 feet. It says nothing about where that it landed in the water, so that means it did not land in the water.
The Dunner said it bounced in the river.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You can bounce one in.
Yeah.
But it's not going in on a fly, folks.
And that's when he played for the Reds? Because any other team, they would never say that far. Usually they don't give distances for visiting players. 2004? Thank you.
3-1 the count to Max Muncy.
Is Adam Dunn one of the nicest guys in the world?
Yeah, it was fun to have him for a short period of time.
Now Sonny gets to bunt.
Muncy aboard.
Lafani was trying so hard to get out Muncy so he could face Sonny Gray without this possibility of a sacrifice, and it is not that easy. And they practice, but it's practicing against Mike Aldretti, his first base coach, hitting off a tee. I think Sean Manaea experienced it. Sonny Gray's a pretty good athlete, and he's already squaring around. Oh, a little slap. Except there they had Phillips breaking behind the first base runner in the event. And that's one thing Bob Melvin has been talking to the guys. They square around the bunt and then call a slap, try to slap it. But in that case, as Barnhart came up, coming in to charge was Votto. Behind him was Phillips.
This one is bunted and it's fair, and Votto thought about going to second. And he scooped it up. He looked that way and said, let's just get the sure out. So it is a sacrifice for Sonny Gray.
Cap on this field, and look at the grass right next to the foul line. So Joey Votto, very familiar. If there had been more dirt, ball probably would have rolled foul. If he's going to stay on the grass, it's going to stay fair. And he charged so quickly, didn't want to take the chance, even though Phillips was covering first. But Sonny Gray did exactly what a pitcher is supposed to do, National or American League, and that is sacrifice, even with one out, put a runner in scoring position with 2 outs.
And now Coco steps in. He's 2 for 2. Coco came into this game sitting on an 0 for 16 stretch. But Coco's also one of those guys that he can string together hits. That's Muncy, the runner at second. Outfield straight away. Bruce has a terrific arm in right field.
I think Darren Bush, the A's hitting coach, explained hitting with runners in scoring position perfectly. He said nobody on base. A pitcher will pitch to contact, trying to get quick outs. But when he gets a runner in scoring position, and I think Bush is spot on, a pitcher then pitches the way he wants to with his strength. He's trying to get a hitter to avoid getting a hit with the runner in scoring position, and it's like he accomplished it.
Holt in, he calls off Phillips, and the side is retired. So Muncy is stranded after the 1-out walk. Bottom of the 4th coming up. Kozar, Votto, and Phillips will hit for the Reds. That gentleman right there, his name is Ryan Gerace. He's a big A's fan. He lives in Akron, Ohio, and well, he had his dream moment before today's game. He met my partner. He's a big Ray Fosse fan, and
that's awesome.
This guy was psyched. And this did not just happen like today. He's been trying to get your autograph for a while now.
Yeah.
And today was his special day. So Ray took good care of him, as we knew you would.
Akron, Ohio, and I said, isn't Akron closer to Cleveland than Cincinnati? He said yes, but he said I'd never been to this park.
Why not?
So he took the drive here a little bit farther, but yeah, that was he went a lot of work to do that. So very happy to accommodate.
So his day was made before the game even started, and now looks like he's got pretty good seats. And he can sit back and enjoy it.
Those are good seats. I wonder, you had to buy them early. I didn't leave them. I know that.
Well, he didn't want to ask too much of you today.
Now, if you get Sonny Gray to pitch a winner, be a good luck charm because he ain't looking for some wins on this trip.
So far, so good for Sonny Gray. He's retired 9 in a row with a couple of strikeouts. 0-2 the count to Zach Kozar. Vogt with a home run in the third for the only run in the game so far.
And Stephen Vogt does know that whenever he catches Sonny Gray, he will get his work in blocking balls in the dirt, and that's even with 2 strikes. Good curveball from Sonny, and it's important because you don't want to see the pitcher leaving the curveballs up in the zone, the hangers, because they're going to get hit.
There's a shot, diving play by Lowry, and he got it. Jed Lowry on the backhand dive, and that's a heck of a play.
Didn't have much of a chance to be slicing back to him either. Hard hit ball and good angle by Jed Lowry to be able to go get a ball that was headed towards right center, just over the glove of Sonny Gray. So Jed Lowry moving over to second base this year full time, and Kozar of a base hit, maybe even extras, because Sonny was playing over left center.
So 1 away. Here's Votto. Votto hit a deep fly ball to center field in the first. Brandon Phillips to follow here in the bottom of the 4th inning in Cincinnati. I mentioned the Reds' woes pitching. Offensively, a little bit of a different story. They're 7th in the National League in runs scored, so right in the middle of the pack, but 5th in home runs, 5th in stolen bases. They do not walk a lot. They're last in the National League in walks. I think that's a surprise, simply because anybody that has Joey Votto on their team, you wouldn't think they'd be last in walks, because Votto walks a lot. But overall, 266 runs scored. But when it's all said and done, add it all up, and they are 22-38, and that's the 2nd worst record in the National League. So it's been a struggle.
3-0 green light. I don't think anybody was surprised to see that. Stephen Vogt actually called a pretty good pitch with the fastball down and in. I think your comment earlier in our open about the middle part of this batting order, that's pretty potent.
It is.
And you think about scoring that few runs, and you really can't pitch around anybody because the guy who's following. You got Phillips following, and then Bruce, and then Duvall. That's 4 pretty strong hitters, 2nd through 5.
Well, even Kozar's having a good year in the leadoff spot, and really the guy who is not having a good year is Joey Votto. Everybody else is pretty much doing their thing. Duvall's been great. Votto gets the walk there. So that's the first walk issued by Sonny Gray, first base runner. And for Votto, that is his 36th walk of the year.
Brandon Phillips a hit down the right field line last night to extend his hitting streak to 12. Adam Wainwright gave up 2 in the first inning last night. That was it. Settled down. Pretty good pitcher, Wainwright.
Phillips takes a little bit outside with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball from Sonny Gray. Phillips thrown out by Stephen Vogt in the first inning. Phillips is sitting on a 12-game hitting streak. This one tapped towards Simeon. He's got to wait for the big hop. Out at second, on to first. Double play. 6-4-3 double play, and that will do it for the Reds in the fourth. Fifth inning coming up. A's 1, Reds nothing.
Celebrate Father's Day at the ballpark. Log on to athletics.com/tickets and use coupon code DAD to receive $10 off field level tickets to see the A's take on their AL West rivals, the Los Angeles Angels. Discounted Father's Day tickets are subject to availability, so make plans now to treat Dad to an afternoon of baseball on Sunday, June the 19th. That's 1 week from this Sunday. At the Coliseum, the A's back home Monday night after what seems like a month-long road trip.
But a good homestand coming up.
Yeah, good one coming up.
4 against Texas, 3 against the Angels, and then an off day, and then 2 against Milwaukee. Going to Anaheim for 4, and then you play the 4 games against the Giants, which is always fun. So that is what is coming up. A's will be home a lot for the next month.
And the West Coast on top of it. That'd be good to get out of the East Coast time zone. A's will have only 1 more trip to the Eastern time zone. That will be to Cleveland.
Votto has it. Lowry's retiring. So there's the look ahead. So 3 night games against the Rangers, and then Thursday will be a day game. Nice weekend series against the Angels. Monday is the off day. Monday is the A's Community Fund Golf Tournament. And then the Brewers for 2. 4 in Anaheim. Have we been to Anaheim yet this year? I don't think so. We haven't been to Anaheim or Texas, and it's June 11th.
We'll go to Texas in July, August, and September. No, I've not gone to those yet. Actually, the Angels will have come, and the Rangers and the Angels will have come to the Coliseum twice before the A's visit them once.
1-0 to Stephen Vogt. Vogt a strikeout and a homer. And he lines one foul. This is what Vogt did in the 3rd inning.
Jumped on a first pitch fastball, and watch the extension from Stephen Vogt. I mean, you follow through. He finally knew it was gone when it left his bat, and fan caught it in his cap. Stephen Vogt getting the A's on the board.
Had a good swing there.
Final game of the first half last year in Cleveland, the game that Sonny Gray pitched the shutout. All the runs driven in that game were by Stephen Vogt. So maybe it's something magical about Vogt and Gray being the battery. Sonny pitching
in Ohio.
In Ohio, that's right.
A's were here in 2013 for a 2-game series. That's the last time the A's and the Reds played. Vogt hits it hard. Phillips dives. He's got it. And he cannot get rid of it, and Vogt will have a hit. And Phillips, who he's made a ton of plays like that. And he had it. He just could not transfer it.
Yeah, look where he's playing. The ball was headed in the gap. Dive, backhand from his knee started. And if he had thrown before he lost his balance, he would have thrown him out. But right there, he didn't have the grip, didn't have the ball in his hand, and his momentum with his weight shift from his knees took him to the ground. Never had the ball.
And I think he knows that he would have had Vogt if he would have got rid of it. So Stephen Vogt has a couple of hits. Here's Valencia. First pitch is well inside. So again, A's and Reds playing for the 6th time in interleague play. And this is the 3rd time that the A's have come to Cincinnati. In fact, you were here. I was not. 2002. That was the first time the A's came to Cincinnati, and that was the last year of Riverfront Stadium.
And we watched this being built.
That's right. It was. You could see it.
Yeah. It's just like if you saw it in St. Louis, saw it in New York, at Shea, now Citi Field, and those three stadiums were being built while they were playing in their older stadium.
Right.
And as soon as they were finished, they imploded it.
Nice play by Suarez at third. Phillips on to first. Got in. Nice double play by the Cincinnati Reds. Suarez to Phillips to Votto, and they just got Valencia at first. So second double play turn by the Reds. Still 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the fifth. Red Machines, the nickname given to the Cincinnati Reds baseball team that dominated the National League in the decade of the 70s. The team is widely recognized as being among the best in baseball history. Over that span, the team won 6 National League West titles, 4 National League pennants, and a couple of World Series titles. The team's combined record from 1970 to 1979, 953 and 657, an average of more than 95 wins per season. They were terrific. And I think if you look at the decade of the 70s, I think because of the 3 World Series titles won by the A's, I think you have to give the title of the best team of the 70s to the team that won the most World Series. I mean, I think, but in the late 70s, the A's really went down. The Reds in that decade, right. I mean, they were dominant the whole way through.
Oh,
the 4 times they didn't win the division, Ray, they finished in second place.
Right. And I remember in '75 when the A's lost to the Red Sox in 3 games, and the Red Sox and the Reds played in the World Series.
Big hop for Lowry, and he'll throw out Bruce.
But it was as if the A's had not won the 3 previous World Series, because at that time, a lot of people didn't like Charlie. I mean, bottom line, and
sure,
did not want to give a lot of credit primarily to him. But look at the Hall of Famers and Bench Morgan and Tony Perez. Of course, their manager Sparky Anderson in the Hall of Fame.
63 collective All-Star game appearances. Now they were something. They lost to the Orioles in 1970 and then the A's in 1972.
World Series known as the Hares versus the Squares, because the Reds had, where you can see the uniforms in that shot where they had a little horseshoe back of the stirrup socks, no facial hair. A's were just the opposite starting that year.
Duvall taps it toward Valencia, who fires it across, 2 away. But the Reds are still looking for their first hit with 2 outs here in the 5th inning. Sonny Gray at 52 pitches.
I have to remember last year, opening night at the Coliseum against the Rangers, pitched into the 8th inning with a no-hitter. Ryan Rual with the first hit of the game for the Rangers. Tonight, Sonny Gray doing exactly what he did prior to his demise really in the beginning of the season, when he started elevating. Everything now is down in the zone. Curveball, fastball. Even when he misses, they're out of the strike zone down, and that's where you want them.
Suarez struck out swinging in the second. 2 strikeouts for Gray. He has walked 1. And 1 walk was erased on the double play. So 2-0 the count. There's a shot towards center. Coke goes there. He's got it. Side retire. So we are through 5 innings. It's the A's 1 and the Reds nothing. A's Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by Sonoma Raceway. NASCAR is back at Sonoma Raceway for the Toyota Save Mart 350. It's June 24th through the 26th. Get your tickets today at sonomaraceway.com. One of the team stores here at Great American Ballpark. Lots of Reds. Lots of Reds goodies. Lots of the color red.
And you know, when the Cardinals were just in town, it must have felt like a home game for them, because it was all red.
And all the seats are red.
Exactly. So I mean, it was perfect for them.
Except I guess the seats right behind home plate. They are.
Oh, they're
the
solid.
backs are black, but the actual seats are red. 2-0 the count to Chris Davis. Davis, Alonso, and Simeon. His ballpark opened in 2003, so it's the 14th year of the great American ballpark. Taken over for Riverfront Stadium, which was, as Ray said, you could see this being built. Riverfront just next door.
And that was hot. It had an artificial surface. It was a big bowl because it was a multi-purpose stadium. Bengals played there as well as the Reds. It's like Three Rivers and Riverfront. They were all kind of the same. Same concept. Here they have their own stadium. I guess the Bengals have their own. Just reading today, are they playing? The Bengals playing someplace?
What's that?
The Bengals. I was reading somebody about a football team that the Bengals may be playing in another city or state. I don't know, something like that. Can't believe they would do that. But
Well, their stadium, Paul Brown Stadium, just right down the street. A couple blocks.
big football town, not quite like Green Bay, but nothing like Green Bay.
No,
right?
not quite. 3-1 to Davis. Swing and a miss. In fact, right in between this stadium and Paul Brown Stadium for the Bengals is where Riverfront Stadium used to sit. And the hand coming off the bat for Chris Davis.
Like to see him make contact on that pitch.
Davis has lined out and then was hit by a pitch right in the left elbow, of course.
DeSclafani is a ground ball pitcher, has 9 ground ball outs in the first 5 innings, and of course the one that he got elevated was a home run by Stephen Vogt.
And that one runs inside, and it's a leadoff walk.
Yeah, Cap, the fact that Scotty had his 5 rehab assignments. A starting pitcher can go out for 30 days because he pitches every 5th day typically. But evidently no restrictions on him tonight either, just because of pitching in the 6th innings. 80th pitch is about to be thrown. And for Sonny, last Sunday was going to be his final rehab game that he started in Houston. He was limited to 5 or 80, and it being 5 innings and 69 pitches.
Swinging and a miss by Alonso. Alonso has singled and he has grounded out. So now at 80 pitches, and that gets the bullpen up for the Reds. Daniel Wright. 6 righties and 1 lefty in that Reds bullpen. And that one to the backstop. And that will allow Davis to go to second base. That was not even close.
A hard slider. The only thing Barnhart could do is this, try to backhand it. Just got under his glove, almost a great scoop. He'd come back hard to him, but a different direction.
So 1-1 the count with Simeon in the on deck circle. Outside, 2-1. Off speed pitch from DeSclafani. Well, the most pitches, Ray, he threw in any one of those rehab starts, 77. So he's at 82. So he may not be out there a whole lot longer.
Well, the leadoff walk, and the 6 pitches and the fact that a couple were elevated eye high to Chris Davis, one almost hitting to finally walking.
Good swing there by Yonder Alonso.
Has not lost anything off of the velocity.
One run on 7 hits for the A's. For the Reds, no runs, no hits, as we're in the top of the 6th inning. Check swing, and now a full count.
Alonso doing his best to try to pull the ball to the right side to advance Chris Davis. Runs are at a premium for the A's shutout on Wednesday for just the 2nd time of the season. Tonight leading by 1. Be nice to get the runner at 3rd, see what Semien could do with him at 3rd.
And that one is driven to right. Bruce going back, and it is over his head. It bangs off the wall. Bruce picks it up, and now Alonso's going to try for 2nd, and he is going to be out. Davis gets to 3rd, stops there, and Jay Bruce got a nice bounce right off the wall, and he just picked it up and fired it back in.
He got it again as he had done the first at bat when Alonso was held to a single, actually stopped. There was a little cutter, came right back in the wheelhouse, and almost that close to being a home run halfway up the wall. Chris Davis was actually tagging in the event the ball was caught. He's going to get to 3rd. Alonso trying to go for 2. And Bruce with a strong throw. And Cozart making the play. So he got the runner to 3rd.
Yes, he did.
Not really the way he wanted it, but he gets a single, but an out.
So the Reds bring the infield in. They will try to choke off this run. Semien a single and a line out to 3rd. Blocked by Tucker Barnhart.
You know, with Semien hitting 7th, you have Muncy hitting 8th, so it's not as if you have the pitcher in the on-deck circle that you could work carefully to the hitter. That's at the plate now in Semien, so Mark has a good opportunity. Take the hit that he had in his first at bat to the right side. Votto way off the line at first.
One foul back just to our right. So now it's 2-1.
And Marcus Semien, I'm sure, thinking about Tuesday night in Milwaukee when the A's had the runners at 1st and 3rd, down by a run, 1 out. Marcus was up just trying to tie the game with any kind of a hit, fly ball, something, but he ended up striking out on a slider away from it. He's lost it by 1 run. Here's another opportunity to get the runner in from 3rd.
2-1 pitch is hit high in the air, foul. So 2-2 the count. So 2-2. And that one rolled foul. You can see Barnhart, the catcher, tapping the ground, wanting it low, and actually that's where the pitch was. But Semien did a good job of spoiling it.
Marcus in a protect mode right now with count of 2-2, a couple of strikes on him. And he wants it on the ground. That's the slider down. He ends up throwing it down in that area, but left it in the inner part of the plate.
If he threw it where he wanted it out, may have got a strikeout.
Yeah, exactly. Also could be a little bit of fatigue too.
Sure.
Pitch number 90, 91 coming up, and just trying to get through this 6th.
Again, tapped foul. So he has not had a real bad inning where he's thrown 30 pitches, but he has not had a real quick inning either. But these are high stress at bats. They can take it out of a pitcher. Again fouled straight back, and a very good swing by Marcus Semien.
I think Marcus is familiar with an 18 pitch at bat.
We remember that.
Yes. So he fouled off a ton and just try to protect. You try to shorten the swing, especially with the infield in. You don't have to hit it that hard to get it through the infield. Especially stay back, get a breaking ball, think about right field.
And he checks his swing, holds up on that slider. So now a 3-2 count with Max Muncy waiting in the on-deck circle.
Good block by the catcher. Great hold on his swing by Marcus Semien. There's a slider in the dirt.
Tap toward third. Throw to the plate. And out by a lot is Davis. So he was going on contact. And Davis is easily thrown out at the plate. So fielder's choice for Semien.
Wow. Man at second, nobody out. Runner at third, one out. Runner at first now with 2 outs. And unfortunately, when you go on contact and a ball like that is hit, it's not even close. And third baseman Suarez made a good throw. Catcher Bernhardt caught the ball, then blocked the plate, which you're allowed to do. Gave the runner the space, but then able to put his whole body really in front of the plate to block him off.
So here's Muncy. Semien runs, pitches inside, throw to second base, not in time. Semien made a pretty good jump. He swipes a bag. So that's the 4th stolen base of the year for Marcus Semien.
Which means now he can walk Muncy or pitch carefully to it with the pitcher coming up. So really, it's not a bad ploy by Marcus Semien because it does get the pitcher out of the way in this inning. And they're going to put Muncy on, opening up the first base with the stolen base. So if Semien did not steal, then the goal for the Reds, get the 8th place hitter out, have Semien or Sonny Gray leading off the next inning. But this way, at least with the stolen base, the A's take care of that.
So that is ball 4 to Muncy. So see if Sonny can come through. Ryan Price is going to jog out to the mound.
Ryan Price, a good pitching coach. Now the manager, and that jog might be to say, can you get through this inning? Do you have enough left? And it would be a shock if he said no. But sometimes a manager could say, I'm going to look at his eyes and see what his eyes look like, how he feels. But when a manager jogs to the mound, it's not to make a move normally. It's to find out exactly how the pitcher feels.
Reds bullpen is in deep left center field. Well, there it is. So here's Sonny Gray. Semien at second, Muncy at first. Outfield shallow. Sonny takes a first pitch strike. Fastball from DeSclafani.
I think everybody in the park knows that this is the last batter for DeSclafani, and he wants to try to get him out to walk off the mound with an opportunity for his club to come back. Figure if he loses Sonny Gray, he's going to be out of the game anyway.
You remember DeSclafani starting against the A's in Miami when he was with the Marlins.
Yeah.
Came over in the Matt Latos trade from Miami to Cincinnati.
And it was the non-sunny day, wasn't it? Because Gray pitched on the Saturday after losing or missing a complete start. They wanted to rest him a little bit. He got 4 runs, I want to say, in the first inning. Didn't last through 4. It ended up going 13 or 14. Big Nate Fryman.
Nate, game winner.
Big Nate flew in, had some coffee on Sunday morning. Chili, let's go hit some.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So the A's strand a pair, and we are headed to the bottom of the 6th inning. Reds still looking for their first hit.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
A's baseball on CSN California is brought to you by PG&E, together building a better California. 1-0, the A's lead the Reds. It's the bottom of the 6th inning. That's the American Queen.
That's a biggie.
So the story right now is the A's with a 1-0 lead, and Sonny Gray is yet to allow a hit through the first 5 innings. He'll face Holt, Barnhart, and probably a pinch hitter for DeSclafani.
Well, when DeSclafani got out of the inning, that enabled Brian Price really to pinch hit for him, not have to make a double switch. So all that probably worked in the conversation that he had, especially facing Sonny Gray, who probably more concerned about what he's doing on the mound than at the plate. And right now, 56th pitch coming up.
And it's a strike to Tyler Holt. Tyler Holt grounded out to third in the 3rd. Billy Hamilton on the 7-day concussion disabled list. So Holt playing in center field. A little bit low. The Rays are leading the Astros 4-0. That game in the 4th inning. McCullers and Andries, 2 pitchers in that one. Astros the only AL West team that is underway. Close pitch, 3-1. Sonny has walked 1. That's the only base runner for the Reds. It was a 1-out walk to Votto in the 4th inning.
And all fastballs in this at bat to Holt. 5 fastballs. 4, that is, 4, 5th coming up, but 3 of the 4 out of the strike zone.
And that one fouled off Stephen Vogt.
Stephen Vogt, take it right down the middle of fastball. Got him in the lower part of his mask. Watch the mask. And the head goes back. And somehow he's able to say, give me another baseball.
Huh. So a full count to Holt. And he drives one toward right center, but Coco was shaded that way, and he's got it. So Holt, pretty good at bat, but he's retired. And here's Tucker Barnhart. Still some daylight, huh?
Yeah.
Summer must be here. Barnhart struck out in the 3rd, 1 of 2 strikeouts for Gray. And there's a base hit. So that's the first hit of the game. And it belongs to Tucker Barnhart, a line single to left. So into the stretch now for Sonny Gray. And we're going to get a pinch hitter.
That's pretty good hitting. Fastball away, didn't try to pull it. Kurt Young, just to go out to remind him about this hitter, as Kurt Young, Stephen Vogt, Sonny Gray with their own little meeting to go over the opposing hitters.
So DeSclafani is done. 6 innings, gives up just the 1 earned run.
Got him out of some trouble. 8 hits through 6 innings. So now the A's have to be concerned because they had an opportunity to top half the inning with a lot of base runners, a lot of action, but came up with nothing.
Here's Steve Selski, the pinch hitter. First pitch drops in for a strike. Selski 1 for 2. Just brought up from AAA Louisville on Wednesday. He was with the Reds earlier this year. Lays off the slider. So now it's Blake Wood who is up. So it'll be on to the Reds bullpen. Big series tonight, starting in Seattle with the Rangers and the Mariners going at it. Remember last week, the Rangers swept Seattle in Arlington. They turn around this weekend and play in Seattle. It'll be Holland and Iwakuma the matchup. That one driven to right. Muncie's there. So a hard hit ball, but right into the glove of Muncie. It's been a handful of line drives tonight, but the A's have had a man there.
Sometimes you could say great defensive alignment, but other times you could say hit him right at him. Yeah, that's kind of what has happened tonight. So the defense has been there. Coco's been busy in center field. Now, Sunday left last Sunday's game with a 2-1 lead. Got a no decision, and the A's bullpen kind of fell apart, giving up 4 runs after he departed. And pitch count can usually get to a pitcher quicker than anything. But if you've got an opportunity to control your own destiny, might as well. As long as you can, that is.
Pitch count's pretty good tonight for Sonny.
Yeah, it's great. Actually, he's 3 away from all he threw in the game last Sunday, and is already in the extra inning.
Facing Zach Cozart. Cozart has grounded out, and then he hit a line drive that Lowry made a diving backhanded play on, so he is 0 for 2. And now the count 2-0 to Zach Cozart. Playing every day and having a very nice season for the Reds. 9 home runs, 25 RBIs. Got 16 doubles.
And you know, Kipe, in the All-Star voting, which it's in place now and taking place, and if you're not playing on a winning team, you're not going to get a lot of attention.
Nope.
And teammates like the fact that Cozart.
Valencia has it. It'll go to second. Side retired. So Sonny Gray gives up his first hit, but nothing else. 7th inning coming up. 1-0. A's lead.
Baseball from June the 17th to the 19th. That's next weekend. As Mike Trout, Albert Pujols, and the Los Angeles Angels invade the Coliseum for an action-packed 3-game series. Friday's game will feature post-game fireworks, while Sunday's contest is the perfect Father's Day gift for family time. Get your tickets now at athletics.com/tickets. The Angels from Anaheim. They don't want to be called Angels from Anaheim, just the Los Angeles Angels. That's all.
We'll call them whatever we want to call them, right?
That's right. From Anaheim. That's where they play.
All right, when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and repair expert. So Blake Wood comes in. 30th appearance, 4-1, 3.99 ERA.
He likes his fastball upwards of 97, 98. So a bullpen, somebody throws as hard as he does, you have to wonder, but he can throw the heater.
And Coco jumps on the first pitch, drives it toward Duvall. Duvall backing up, front of the wall, makes the catch. So good start though for Anthony DeSclafani. 6 innings, 8 hits, 1 run, 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. But he leaves trailing 1-0.
Good job on the name, by the way. He did a great job.
DeSclafani.
Yeah, but you got it down.
Yeah. Practicing all day.
It's not an easy name to say often. That's why I wanted to call him AD.
The big right-hander. So the Reds bullpen has an ERA of 6.71 this year. And right, that is the 8th highest ERA in baseball history after pitching 200 innings as a group. That's the problem. Look at the next closest. Texas at 4.83.
Wow.
So that's almost 2 runs higher than the next closest. So it has just been a giant problem for the Reds. And it snowballs because now everybody knows about it.
Well,
you start thinking, you know what, just stay close because we'll beat them late.
And that was a surprising thing last night when Adam Wainwright was taken out relatively early in the game. In a 2-2 game, I think the bases were loaded, or a couple of guys on, and they put Peralta in the pinch hit. And I think after 6 innings, Wainwright was out, and the discussion was, well, why wouldn't they just wait because the bullpen was coming in? They ended up winning anyway by a run. But the Reds have not had a lot of success. As a matter of fact, 0 in interleague play this year.
Haven't won yet.
This is their 8th game in interleague play, while the A's are playing just their 3rd.
Inside with that fastball at 97 miles an hour.
Just overthrew it. You throw as hard as he does. That's why it was saying throw 97, but give me 94 with some location. And that was a 97 overthrown out of the strike zone.
Lowry is 0 for 3. And he's going to get the walk. So a 1-out base runner.
Well, that is the 4th walk the A's have received tonight, and the previous 3 have not scored. Last inning, they had a couple of walks. Matter of fact, a leadoff walk to Chris Davis, but he was thrown out at the plate on a contact play.
So that brings up Vogt, who is 2 for 3. Strikeout, homer, and a single. So his average up to 277. Vogt was rolling along. Remember, in an 11-game hitting streak when he arrived in Milwaukee, but he went 0 for 7 in that series against the Brewers. There's nobody hit in Milwaukee.
That's right.
The A's had 8 total hits in the 2 games at Miller Park and 4 runs total. Tonight they got 8 hits in 6 innings.
It's the Reds no hit by Jake Arrieta. It's the Reds. Who was it? He no hit somebody earlier. And whoever it was, somebody had a hit streak and said it ended with a no hitter. No kidding.
Yeah,
Everything's going to end.
Generally that happens.
Have the Reds been no hit this year? It was Jake? Yeah, okay. Who said he's going to pitch another one this year at home?
I wouldn't disagree with him.
No, he's pretty good. Finally lost his first regular season game since last year.
Outside, and now it's 2-1. Now the Cubs roll along. 41-17. Winning percentage is .707. Cubs with the best record in the National League and all of baseball. The best record in the American League belongs to the Texas Rangers. Not close, and now it's 3-1.
Okay, if you talk about playing a team certain time of the year, think back to the beginning of the season for the A's. They saw the Chicago White Sox. The A's lost 3 out of 4. 2 guys, one named Jimmy Rollins, hit a home run the 2nd game in the 9th inning to win the game. Matt Latos pitched on Thursday, 6 innings of 1 hit ball. Chris Coughlin, the only guy getting the hit, Both of them been designated.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden the White Sox, it looked like both teams in Chicago were going to run away from with the divisions. Now the White Sox are playing tonight 30-30.
Yep.
It's incredible.
Yeah, that was a quick turnaround because everybody was talking about the White Sox in April.
Yeah.
But now they have lost 7 in a no, they've lost 12 out of 15.
Wow.
Chicago. But yeah, Jimmy Rollins
was just DFA'd today. Yeah. And Matt Latos, they were talking. I mean, he pitched so well that they kept him. And it's a kid Fulmer that they have in the minor leagues they were wanting to bring up, but I think they brought somebody else up. Shortstop to take over for Rollins anyway.
Well, when the White Sox were in early, we said Jimmy Rollins was just kind of filling the hole because the White Sox had their best prospect. Runner goes. The ball's popped up. Shallow left. Duvall in. Duvall will make the catch. So Crisp gets back, or Lowry, excuse me, gets back. But Tim Anderson, the young shortstop for the White Sox, he's their best prospect, and it was just a matter of time before he was going to get to the big leagues, and that's what happened. They want him obviously to play every day, and that cost Jimmy Rollins his job. Rollins 45 hits away from 2,500 in his career, so I would think somebody would grab him. But I think with Jimmy Rollins, he wanted to go to Chicago because he knew he was going to play shortstop.
That's right.
And at this point now, I think if Jimmy Rollins could play second base, well, now I think he's a valuable guy for somebody, a good team that's in a pennant race. But can he play second base? You know, that's the question. Or even third base. I mean, I just don't know that a contending team's going to have a shortstop spot for Jimmy Rollins to play. He was only hitting 200.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens with him. And Valencia chases that one.
The interesting thing, there's always that battle between North and South Side Chicago. Cubs playing so well. They did it last year going to postseason, and White Sox looked like it was going to be a magical season. So panic sets in.
Yep.
They start making moves, and a couple of veterans DFA'd, and see what they can do to acquire players.
Yeah, and they made the big Shields trade, obviously.
That's right. He didn't do well the first game.
The White Sox tonight, interesting weekend series. They're at home. They're playing the Royals. They're winning 3-2 in the 4th inning. But the White Sox, as I mentioned, have lost 12 out of 15. The Royals have lost 7 in a row. And the Royals are 30-29. They're not playing well at all. So two teams, especially the Royals, you just kind of figure they're going to get hot again, but they're also pretty banged up, and they have really not been playing great.
They just had a pitcher suspended for 9 games.
Well, he should have got suspended for that.
Basically it's 2 starts. And with the pitcher, you have to do that. 1 start or 5 games, you know, they can manipulate the starting spot. No, I agree. At least that.
Foul tip. Valencia strikes out. So Lowry's walked, but the A's do nothing with it. We have reached the 7th inning stretch in Cincinnati. 1-0 A's lead. Know It All with Sportsnet Central. It's brought to you by Hyundai, and it's tonight at 10:30 on our sister station, CSN Bay Area. It's a busy night, folks. Game 4 highlights: Warriors Cavs. Of course, the Warriors up 2-1 in Cleveland. Of course, we'll have a full report from Cleveland, and don't forget about the Sharks. They get ready for Game 6 at the Shark Tank, and that is Sunday. And they have to win. They're down 3-2. So Ahmed Fareed will take care of that.
Aren't the Warriors back on Monday night at the Coliseum?
Yeah, Game 5 will be Monday night at the Coliseum. So
busy time at the Coliseum.
Sunny days have returned. Indeed. 5 innings in Houston on Sunday, and he's been very good tonight. Just 1 hit. But he is going right at the heart of the order, though. This is this group we talk about, Ray. Votto, Phillips, Bruce. If anybody gets on, Duvall. So this will be a entertaining inning. Sonny Gray goes at the heart of the lineup. Votto, one of 2 base runners for the Reds tonight.
Votto that time verbally asked for time before he stepped out, and Field and Colbert gave it to him. Sonny taking a little bit extra time.
1-1 pitch to Votto. Votto drives one to left field. Davis back. Davis near the wall, and Davis stumbled a little bit, but makes the catch and then bangs into the wall. So another fairly hard hit ball, but a nice play by Chris Davis.
On the opposite field, and Votto waits a long time. As a result, he walks a lot. But at the warning track, Chris Davis, you're right, he stumbled right there and able to bang into the wall, brace himself.
So Joey Votto said those batting gloves are not working. I'm going to throw them in the stands.
He must have watched Miguel Tejada.
Yeah, so
I think he took a whole.
Yeah, he threw everybody's batting gloves. First pitch to Phillips, just a touch low. Indians and the Angels will play later on the West Coast. Kluber and Santiago, the matchup there. Indians playing great in first place in the Central. There's a base hit right up the middle for Phillips. Interesting note here on Sonny Gray and the curveball. Look at the velocity. Okay, so velocity down a little bit on his curveball. And you say, well, does that make a difference? Well, the percentage of swinging strikes says it does make a difference.
Yeah.
Throwing it just a little bit harder. At his last start, it certainly paid off.
I think you could just spell out the word keeping it down or down, because the curveball is down. What's the extra velocity? Hitters have to start their swing, and a lot of times we'll swing and miss.
But high in the air, but in the ballpark. Davis waits. Davis has it. Phillips is going to try for second. Now he stops and he goes back.
Well, Phillips is in the starting blocks at first.
Well, and it's a good move by Phillips.
Yes, it is. He started. Looked like he's going all the way. You know, he could put on the brakes with the throw going into second. Still plenty of time to get back.
See, I wonder, Ray, too, is if you're Phillips there and you take off and you're obviously the ball's right looking at. I wonder if you could almost see if the throw in is going to be offline.
That's a good point. Yeah.
If you have the right angle, you can. Now, Davis was into left center a little bit, so maybe not a great angle for Phillips, but if you see it's off, just keep going.
Yeah.
Here's Duvall. First pitch is a strike. Duvall has popped to second and grounded to third.
Chris Davis did something very important as an outfielder. He got behind the ball, and Phillips saw that, and Chris Davis, who does not have a particularly strong arm, got the throw back in quickly, and as a result kept Phillips at first.
Vogt has it scoot by him, so a big 90 feet there. Been an issue with Sonny Gray this year in the wild pitches.
That was not a curveball or fastball. It's 90 miles per hour. It's like a cutter. And Stephen and especially Stephen Vogt McBride was here. When you get a hard pitch like that in the dirt, it's going to bite because it's usually a breaking ball. Yeah, that's not surprising. 10 wild pitches, and Phillips doesn't go to second. Possibly would have been thrown out if he tried. Instead, he gets there anyway on a wild pitch. Now Duvall becomes a big hitter.
On deck is Eugenio Suarez. So 1-1 the count to Duvall. 17 home runs. And that one's ripped past Valencia down the third baseline. Phillips is going to score, and this game is tied here in the bottom of the 7th inning. A huge 2-out hit for Adam Duvall.
And you're going to see a location, Kipe. Unfortunately, the location that we saw, curveball stayed up, a hanger, and it crushed it. Did not have the biting curve down in the zone. The location before had been great. This ball up and hit hard.
And it looked too like it stayed down a little bit on Valencia. Would have been a terrific play. So Duvall gets his 41st RBI, and now you got to try to keep this thing a tie as Suarez steps in and he bounces one in the hole. Semien has it. He'll throw to third, and Duvall slides. He's safe. That's the only play Semien had. So it'll be a base hit.
Great play by Marcus Semien on a couple of things. Number one, keeping the ball from going to left field because it would have scored the go-ahead run. And then to quickly throw to Danny Valencia. If Duvall had rounded the back at all, he's going to be out. He actually slid in to third base thinking that the throw was going to go there. It did. By sliding, no chance for him to round the back. Some base runners will round it like they think the ball is in the outfield, but smart play, good play by Marcus Semien. Did not have to leave his feet, but kept the ball from going into the outfield.
So you're Tyler Holt. 3 hits in the inning. And that one bounces away from Vogt, and the Reds are going to take the lead on a wild pitch. The ball went into the A's dugout.
Well, you put up the note, 10 wild pitches, and the ball under the glove of Stephen Vogt. And once it got under the glove, it hit maybe the umpire and headed over towards the dugout. Wow.
So Suarez is now at second base. Good breaking ball there, and the count is 1-1. You start looking too. Both these wild pitches very, very costly in this inning.
Right. I think back, you almost wish Phillips had tried to go to second because he probably would have been out, been out of the inning.
He ended up there anyways, right? Here's the wild pitch that scored the go-ahead run.
Yeah, Stephen didn't really get all the way down to the ground with his glove, and that probably could have gone more than
could have been a pass ball
if he had put his glove on the ground and maybe just scooted under too quickly, that he did not get his catcher's mitt down on the ground.
So the count is 1-2. And that one in the dirt, but a swing and a miss. Flipped to first, side retired. So a tough inning for Sonny Gray. Couple of wild pitches that cost him. And the Reds take the lead. They scored twice. So 2-1 Cincinnati after 7. Annual A's Pride Night presented by Wells Fargo on Tuesday, June 14th. Join us as the A's take on the Texas Rangers and purchase a special ticket that includes a Pride Rainbow headband. Partial proceeds from this event will benefit AIDS Project of the East Bay, Our Space, and Rainbow Community Center. For tickets and information, visit athletics.com/pride. Now the Reds lead 2-1. So that's a disappointing bottom of the 7th inning. So the A's have work to do. And Davis will lead it off. Davis, Alonso, Semien, and Blake Wood stays in the game. He threw 18 pitches in the 7th, had a walk and a strikeout. And this one skied to center. Holt backs up. And Holt has it. Almost makes me think, Ray, that if you're Brian Price and you have all these problems with your bullpen and there's not real defined roles, if you got a guy who looks decent in the 7th inning,
thank you.
Go back out there for the 8th.
That's right.
Right? I mean, because
right.
Who knows?
Well, and I agree, because I think, as we've talked about before, you see a pitcher get 4 hitters out and then they take out for the 5th, and then all of a sudden somebody comes in and they give it up, but the matchups at times are lefty, righty, righty, lefty aren't really all that good all the time.
Another drive to center and another one that's going to stay in the ballpark. So 2 outs. So that's the big part of the ballpark, obviously, and the ball carries well here down the lines and even into the power alley, especially in right field. But
And that's smart pitching. The pitch away, trying to get hitters. In the case of the two lefties, a righty and lefty. And Sean Doolittle gets loose in the A's bullpen. Sonny Gray didn't throw that many pitches in the 7th inning, but he may be finished for the night anyway.
Marcus Semien with one of the A's 8 hits. A slider popped up foul. The attendance tonight here at the Great American Ballpark, 21,520. And just a beautiful night. The riverboat heading down the Ohio. So not a real big crowd, but and strike 3 called. Semien looked like he knew it. So that's a good inning for Blake Wood. The bottom of the 8th coming up. Reds 2, A's 1. Game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 1-8-0 for the A's, 2-4-2 for the Reds. He's got the 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning. Sonny Gray's been good. 2 wild pitches hurt him last inning. DeSclafani was very good. He's going to get a no decision. Stephen Vogt with a home run for the A's only run in this game. Again, the A's offense quiet and has been somewhat quiet on this road trip.
Too quiet.
Yeah.
Really too quiet.
So Sonny Gray back out there.
Hey, that in itself is good that Sonny's back out. Just 83 pitches. And it's that last with a good slider, good breaking ball.
Tucker Barnhart got the first hit in the game with 1 out in the 6th inning. He lined a base hit to left field. Vogt cannot block that one. It rolls toward the on-deck circle where a pinch hitter, Kyle Waldrop.
Cingrani, the closer, is warming up. So right now the A's trying to keep it at 1. Boy, I say that a long time, but it's so true. You can bring the closer in with just a 1-run lead.
1-2 pitch swing and a miss. Barnhart strikes out and Sonny Gray picks up his 4th K.
Well, after breaking ball in the dirt, went back more to the fastball, a little cut action on it, but a couple of breaking balls to start. The breaking ball in the dirt.
So here's Waldrop. He is the pinch hitter. Waldrop 1 hit in 4 at bats this year. Goes after the first pitch and rolls it foul. Waldrop, like Selski, just brought up from the minor leagues. And just like Selski, was with them earlier this year.
Seems like when the Reds make moves, they don't do just one. They do multiple moves at the same time.
And that's a shot to right, and that's a hit. So a pinch hit single for Waldrop. That has to feel good coming off the bench.
Stayed with 3 consecutive breaking pitches, and this next one just kind of stayed up. And you have to wonder, Kipe, if there is a little fatigue setting in, because this, I mean, the pitch count's okay. It's not even 90 yet. 69 his last start, so 20 more. But as they talk about, it's going out, sitting down, going out, sitting down. So this being the 8th inning, really No pitcher for the A's really has done this. Rich Hill went 8 innings one time. That's the extent for any starting pitcher for the A's. And unfortunately, Rich is on the disabled list, but the fact they can go retroactive to his last start, then that's going to help expedite his time to get well. Right now, just trying to keep this at 1 run behind going into the 9th inning.
Cozart taps it, and it's foul toward Valencia. So it will be a lefty, Tony Cingrani, to pitch the 9th, and the A's will have Muncy, the pitcher spot, and then Coco Crisp. Plenty of right-handed hitters: Smolinski, Butler, Fegley, Landorf, and Billy Burns, a switch hitter. So you have options if you need to go to the bench with a lefty on the mound.
And how about Butler pinch hitting and Landorf running for him?
It's possible.
That's what we saw in Milwaukee. Yeah, so I would say Butler will get the opportunity. We'll see what the skipper decides, but right now just trying to get into that situation, trade him by 1.
0-2 to Zach Cozart, who has grounded out twice and lined out. So the leadoff man 0 for 3. Joey Votto will be next. On the ground, Simeon backhands, fires to second for 1. Lowry back to first, not in time.
Yeah, they may take a look at that. Bob Melvin saying, let's wait a second. High throw from Simeon to Lowry, but still Lowry with a very strong arm. Got it to first base. They're going to take a look at it, and Bob Melvin maybe he's going to make a move. Looked like Cozart beat it, but Bob Melvin maybe going to Doolittle for Votto. So for the pinch hitter, Waldrop getting on base, it cost Sonny Gray the opportunity to get through the 8th inning.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and repair expert. So Doolittle coming in to face Votto with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
On Friday, June the 17th, join us for baseball movie fireworks presented by Ray Morgan Company. After the game against the Angels, our famous fireworks show will be set to the music from classic baseball movies, including The Natural, Bull Durham, Field of Dreams, and many, many more. There's no better way to kick off summer than with A's baseball and fireworks, so visit athletics.com/fireworks today. You understand they have fireworks tonight.
Right here in Cincinnati. Good start for Sonny Gray. 5 hits, 2 runs in 7 2/3 innings. And here's a good matchup: Doolittle and Votto.
And I'm sure Joey Votto knows the scatter report on Sean Doolittle. Lefty on lefty, fastball after fastball. 3 for 4 in save opportunities, but pretty much now the setup. But one of closers, several closers that Bob Melvin can go to when he wants to.
Votto swings and misses 95 miles an hour.
That's a challenge. That's a challenge. Isn't this great? I mean, this is wonderful. Votto knows what Doolittle is going to throw, and Doolittle is going to throw exactly what he throws best.
Well, now Votto spreads out big time, chokes up a little bit more, and he skies one to left field. Davis back near the wall, and he's got it.
Wow. How about choking up more?
Choking up
great.
And spreading out, and he almost hit it out. So here we go, folks. 9th inning coming up.
A's Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience TV.
So last shot for the A's as they trail the Reds 2-1. And when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. Well, the Reds looking for a closer, and they're giving the opportunity to Tony Cingrani. He's got good stuff. Walks are a little bit high.
He's called a sinker slider pitcher. And the right-handed pinch hitters that you mentioned, a couple are going to face off in this inning. Not Muncy, but it's going to be Smolinski for Muncy. And then Billy Butler in the on-deck circle. So they'll have righty-righty switch. Coco to bat right-handed. So opportunities for the A's. And the fact that the A's were able to not allow the Reds to score in the 8th inning. So it's a 1-run deficit and try to do something here.
So Smolinski hitting for Muncy. First pitch is right there outside corner, 94 miles an hour.
That was not a sinker. That was a four-seam fastball.
No sink in there.
No, there's nothing there.
A little pop-up. Votto hustles over, can't get it. Cingrani looks like he's got one of those windups where he's kind of a slow windup, but then he kind of jumps at you. He was a starter when he got to the big leagues. Had a little bit of success as a starter, but last year went to the bullpen. High fastball, hit foul into the upper deck.
Well, you're right. Very slow and deliberate, but there's that stretch out of the windup. That's what Sonny Gray had been doing. Cingrani doing the same thing, where he kind of stands with both feet close together on the slab, but it is a windup. Actually, it's a stretch.
Well,
I guess he changes
it's about the same,
back
really.
and forth. Just has to be concerned when he gets a runner on base, and the A's are hopeful that that is the case.
One-two pitch again fouled into the upper deck.
Smolinski can handle a fastball. And right now, all he has seen in 5 pitches has been a fastball. Cingrani, he's got a good one, so why not use it?
Defense is straight up, outfield deep. Suarez, the third baseman, is hugging the line.
Barnhart,
Right side.
Barnhart, the catcher, staying inside, forcing his left-handed pitcher to finish, and staying in, and maybe have a little discussion with his lefty now.
That's interesting. So you see the fastballs being fouled to the right side. Doesn't mean that Smolinski can't get to it, but
He's having trouble.
But he hasn't showed
Right.
them that he can yet. He does this time, shoots it to right field, and that's a base hit. Leadoff single by Smolinski, and that's a pretty good at bat.
Well, and to your point, because I know what you're thinking, don't throw him anything but fastballs if he's not pulling the ball. And Smolinski protecting with a couple of strikes, maybe against a possible slider, but got a fastball away after inside from Barnhart, goes away, and just really it's Cingrani providing the power on this fastball, location outside, and Smolinski just took it that direction.
Almost seems like if the pitch was a foot in, he would have probably fouled it in the same spot,
Exactly.
but it was out and he just went with it. So here's Butler. Butler hitting in the pitcher spot, and he hits a high fly ball toward right. Bruce over. Bruce has it. Gets it back in quickly, and that's the first out. So Butler went after the first pitch. He's retired. And now Coco Crisp will hit. Coco, for the first time tonight, will hit from the right side. He's 11 for 44 as a right-handed hitter this year. So he's average-wise, he's been better from the right side this year. But tonight, he had good swings left-handed. He was 2 for 4. Defense remains pretty straight up. Phillips cheating towards second. Holt in center, just slightly shaded toward left center.
And when in doubt, play straight up.
Yep.
Especially with the kind of fastball Cingrani is throwing.
There's a strike on the fastball at 94 miles an hour.
As if you shift expecting a hitter to pull a 95, 96 mile an hour fastball, and usually the shifts, I think only Julio Franco, as I remember, it's an opposite shift where they shifted to the right field for him because he was a great opposite field hitter. But more than anything, the shifts, it's usually to the pull side.
So the A's have the tying run on. Lowry will be next. Coco watches it. Close pitch a bit outside to even the count at 1-1. A's got their only run in the 3rd inning on Vogt's home run. The Reds got 2 in the bottom of the 7th. Sonny Gray was 1 out away from getting out of that inning, but he could not do it.
Kotsay has the clock on Cingrani. Maybe talking about Smolinski running. He has good speed, but really the left-handed pitcher, Cingrani, is looking right at the runner. It makes it difficult to get any kind of a jump. Mark Kotsay, a very good player. He has a stopwatch, so he is checking the time. Cingrani releasing the ball to the plate. Just see how quick or how slow he is. High leg kick, that's slow.
Coco fouls it straight back. Another fastball at 95 miles an hour. So you gauge it, right? You gauge that leg kick.
Yeah. Well, but that time he kind of quick pitched with the high leg kick, but quick pitched. And by doing that, it really kind of froze the runner at first in Smolinski. But if you alter your approach to the plate delivery, and as a base runner, even if you're thinking about stealing, it's tough to figure out what he's going to do.
So the count even, 2-2. Here's the pitch. Hit hard toward third. Out at second. Dugout at first, and that's the ball game. So Coco Crisp grounds into a 5-4-3 double play. And the Cincinnati Reds take game 1 of the 3-game series.
It's tough to go around the horn with a double play, especially with Coco Crisp running, but he threw it hard. Or he hit it hard, threw it hard, over to second to Phillips, and a scoop at first base by the Gold Glove first baseman Votto. Cingrani gets the job done.
So the A's have lost a season-high 6 consecutive games, and Sonny Gray pitches well, but Sonny will take the loss. So time of game tonight, 2 hours and 37 minutes. The attendance was 21,520. Final score, the Cincinnati Reds 2 and the Oakland A's 1. You've been watching A's Baseball on CSN California. It's part of the NBC Sports Group. Don't go away. A's postgame live with Mindy Bach and Carney